Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about December 2025, all the major transits that you need to be aware of, what houses are being activated in your chart. If you're new here, my name's Christina. I make videos about Vedic astrology using the Sidereal Zodiac. So if you like that kind of thing, stick around and be sure to subscribe. I put out new videos every week. All right, let's get into the first big transit of December. We've got a full moon in Taurus. Taurus is where the moon is exalted. And so this is a very strong and powerful full moon. And it's also going to be exactly conjunct Uranus. This is huge. So we're looking at major breakthroughs and this potential for really impactful growth. And so your Taurus in your Scorpio houses is an axis, and this axis is being activated. And so you want to ask yourself, is there something that you've been holding on to that is maybe keeping you from progressing in life, in your goals and dreams? And this can be something that's physical, mental, or even emotionally holding you back. So that's something to think about with this full moon. Full moons are always a time for reflection. So keep that in mind. Where's your Taurus and Scorpio houses? Now on December 5th, we have Jupiter re-entering Gemini. He's moving backwards. He's retrograde. And so he's revisiting those big ideas from earlier this year. Jupiter is really expanding your curiosity, and he's retrograde, so this can make things more introspective and less direct, right? So your Gemini house is going to be experiencing growth, but this time it's going to take more effort, more intention. And he's revisiting this area that he's already transited this year. So there may have been something that you missed that may come up again for you. And that's something to be on the lookout for, and especially regarding whatever your Gemini house is. Now, also Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac, and so therefore it's associated with the third house. And so this is telling me that it's definitely going to take more courage. There's more willpower and courage that's needed. And so just be on the lookout if you feel like you're revisiting an area of life that you've already lived earlier this year. All right, December 6th, we have Mercury speeding through the signs, and he's going to be entering Scorpio. He's catching up with the other planets. And so this is a very, very quick transit. It's combining our thinking mind with those deep, still waters of Scorpio. So this is a great time for research and getting to the source, getting to the root of something. And as Mercury approaches that Gandanta point at the end of Scorpio, communications, travel, and just our overall ability to be rational, all of these things can feel turbulent or maybe extra emotionally charged. And that sudden nature of Scorpio can bring about big changes and forcing you to see things from a different perspective. And it's usually by being able to understand the root or the source of the matter. So wherever Scorpio is in your chart, remember we've got that full moon in Taurus. So that Taurus-Scorpio axis is being activated in these first few days and weeks of the month. On December 7th, Mars is going to transit over that Gandanta point and enter into Sagittarius. The first degree of Sagittarius is also a Gandanta point. In fact, it's the first 48 minutes to be exact. And Gandanta means knot. And when planets are transiting here, there is this karmic tangle that needs to be worked out. So as Mars, the planet of courage and action and focus and drive, can also be anger and frustration when you feel like you're hitting a roadblock. And that's what that Gandanta point can feel like for some, especially if you have planets in this area of the chart. Then you will definitely feel the impact of this transit. You can feel some frustration, but there needs to be that goal of searching for the truth, the root of the matter, the source of that issue or situation that you're in. And it's going to be regarding your Sagittarius house. So whatever house Sagittarius rules for you is going to be the theme of this transit. Now, Mars in Sagittarius is aspecting some new signs. So he aspects the 7th house always, like all the planets, they aspect the house opposing it. But also there's some special aspects. So Mars has the 4th and 8th houses where he is transiting, that he's also going to be throwing his influence. So that's going to be Pisces, Gemini, and Cancer. So Mars' 4th aspect onto Pisces is really going to want to bring movement to that house. And it's already got Saturn there. Saturn's already restructuring your Pisces house. So Mars aspecting is going to be pushing you to take action, maybe where you've been avoiding responsibility. And it's also going to be bringing into the light the need to simplify your inner world, right? So that you can move forward in your goals. This 4th aspect is associated with the 4th house of home, inner peace, personal life, privacy, what you're connecting to your heart. Saturn's kind of restructuring that in a way in its relationship with Mars. Now, Mars is giving courage for you to confront what Saturn has been working on in your Pisces house. And so this aspect can feel irritating at first, but it's going to help you deal with something that you've been postponing, something that you've been putting off. So being productive, having that productivity is going to be what brings you some relief in this house if you're having issues. Now, Mars opposing Gemini is going to be energizing and kind of agitating whatever house Gemini is in your chart. So there can be some increased motivation around your communication, your writing, your learning. You may be more assertive in your interactions with others. And there's this strong desire to express your opinions. Mars has that fire energy of action, and he's going to be influencing that Gemini house where it has that underlying influence of Mercury, where we want to be curious, where we want to ask questions, and Mars is going to be fueling that with his fire. Now, Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini, as we spoke before, so Mars is really adding this urgency to whatever Jupiter is wanting you to review, wanting you to revisit. So take this time, to try to focus and avoid those scattered ideas and try to turn them into something that's actionable. Now, Mars casts his 8th aspect onto Cancer, and so this is about intensity and transformation and can bring to the surface what's been hidden. So there can be some emotional breakthroughs regarding your Cancer house. There could be a sudden awareness of maybe a feeling that you've had or some unresolved unconscious feelings, and there may be this push to face something that's uncomfortable, but it's very necessary. So it can also create some heightened sensitivity or protectiveness around your Cancer house, around the boundaries that you create regarding your Cancer house. So that's something to keep in mind. The 8th aspect is really forcing growth based on those weak spots, and it likes to break things down, and a lot of times when we are in that vulnerability is when the most change can happen. So this isn't about being negative, it's more about clarifying those uncertainties, right? Mars is wanting to help you understand what you need to change so you can feel more secure and more grounded regarding your Cancer house. Now, on December 16th, Sun enters Sagittarius. Sun is joining Mars. It's going to be activating your Sagittarius house for the next 30 days. This is going to bring fire and clarity to that house. You're going to have a lot of inspiration here. See, Jupiter rules Sagittarius and represents beliefs, your purpose, your higher learning, and the search really for meaning in life. What does it all mean? And the Sun is purifying whatever house it moves through. So in this transit, it's going to help you see the truth of your motivations. It's going to highlight where you need more honesty, where you need more integrity, and where you need more alignment with your beliefs. The things that you're learning and asking questions about are forming your beliefs in Sagittarius, right? That's that Gemini Sagittarius axis. And so with the Sun and Mars together here, you may feel more driven, but also more impatient. That fire energy can be really impulsive, and you want to do things and get it going, take the initiative. But this is really a powerful time to realign your goals with your values and reconnect with what inspires you. That's what Sagittarius is all about. Now, on December 19th, the moon is going to make its way into Sagittarius, and we're going to have a new lunar cycle. This is the sun and the moon joining forces. Mars is going to be there. Jupiter is going to be aspecting. And so this is really creating kind of a reset point around your beliefs and your purpose and anything that your Sagittarius house represents. New moons are about setting new intentions, and in your Sagittarius house, these intentions relate to growth, expansion, and really understanding what you stand for, what you believe. And since the sun is purifying and the moon is reflecting the emotional aspect of this cycle is going to really support you to release any of those outdated beliefs and create space for the new ones. So this is a great time to commit to learning something new, developing a new long-term outlook, or reconnecting with the faith in yourself. Your Sagittarius Gemini axis is activated, and so this is about balancing between what you want to know and what you believe. And this is going to be the theme for the next month or so. Now, December 29th, we are wrapping up the year, and Mercury, as usual, is speeding through the sign. So Mercury, by the end of the month, is going to enter into Sagittarius. He's going to join the party. He's moving out of those deep emotional waters of Scorpio into those fiery, active, adventurous energies of Sagittarius. So shifting towards more optimism, more possibilities, and bigger ideas. So your thinking becomes broader and more philosophical and more future-oriented. But Mercury is somewhat challenged in Sagittarius because it prefers details and precision. And Sagittarius wants expansion. So this can create a kind of tendency to overlook the details, or maybe even jump to conclusions too quickly, especially with Mars there and Sun as well, that impulsivity there. So if you're learning or planning or teaching or sharing any information, this transit really supports those communications and that inspired thinking that you'll have. But just slow down so you're not rushing through. Make sure to check the facts and also avoid over promising during this transit. That's something that's really important. So let's go into the ascendants really quick. For the fire ascendants, this is going to be activating a Dharma house for you. So Sagittarius is all about what matters to you, the meaning and the purpose in life. And so the things that are going to arise during this month, going into the new year, are going to be foundational to who you are, what you believe, what you create, and how you express yourself in the world. If you are a water ascendant, so Sagittarius is an Artha house, and so we're dealing with work and health and resources, family, all of these things, career. So these are going to be tangible things that are going to be in focus for you during this time. It can deal with money and career, or if you're a boss, it could be your employees, or it could be your coworkers. And so these are all things that are going to be brought into the light during this transit for the next month or so while Sagittarius is being activated. Jupiter is aspecting. So these are tangible things about money, about resources, and also about your independence and how you project yourself out into the world. If you are an air ascendant, Sagittarius is a Kama house for you. So this is all about happiness and relationships and agreements that you make and the things that you communicate and share, the courage you have to do so, and then also your connections, your networks and friends, all of these things that you share and people that you share your life with are going to be brought into focus during the Sagittarius transit. And if you are an Earth ascendant, then we've got moksha house energy, right? Sagittarius is a moksha house for you. So we're dealing with change and endings and emotional connections. We're also dealing with letting go, dealing with subconscious energies, and even some spirituality in there as well. So I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. I hope you have a wonderful, happy new year. I'm going to be making a video for the big major transits of 2026, but if you haven't got one already, I've got my Transit in the Sky book. You can get a paperback on Amazon, and it covers all the major transits of the year with insights for each month based on the degrees and combinations, conjunctions, aspects, all of that. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video.